just going to talk today about the ocean conference that's happening, and this is all part of this big agenda that is really taking everything away from us and putting it into corporate hands, and that's what we're seeing, and that's really what Rubio was talking about, but he's not calling them out. Last month I covered David Attenborough's 99th birthday and the launch of his new film Ocean, which he's proudly shown to schools throughout the country to get children involved in saving the planet. And he's kind of lamenting that he's not going to live to see his great work seen. And the thing is that the film was released to coincide with the Ocean Conference. This is about the children going, having the all this propaganda put into the schools, but it's on the back of this Ocean Conference that's happening in Nice next week. So really, the conference is being held in Nice. It's called the Ocean Conference, and it's really taking into account Goal 14 of the Sustainable Development Goals. And it's all about conserving, conservation and sustainability. This is what they're talking about: the use of the oceans, the seas, and marine resources, or it's sustainable development, really. And what they're sort of going into is the targets they're looking at is reducing marine pollution, managing and protecting marine ecosystems, minimizing ocean acidification, regulating overfishing, prohibiting farming, harmful farming subsidies, and increasing scientific knowledge, and enhancing the conservation and sustainable use of oceans through international law, and stopping the plastic and all that kind of stuff. And it all sounds great, doesn't it? It's who wouldn't agree with cleaning up the oceans for future generations? And this is what Sustainable Development 14 is proposing that it's doing. But there's it's a very, like all the goals, 14 is sold as a necessary benefit to mankind. But there's also a darker side to this, and it's related to the financial aspect of ecosystems through what is referred to as the blue economy, which involves financializing the sea resource, all the resources under the sea and the seabed, rather than focusing solely on the conservation and environmentalism side. So there's always what they give with one hand, it's all about wonderful stuff like cleaning up the oceans and everything. But on the other side, we've got this really this new economy that they're pulling out of a hat. So on the 7th and 8th of June, the Blue Economy and Finance Forum are hosting a less publicised event in Monaco at the Grimaldi Forum in Monaco. And this forum is designated as a UN Ocean Conference special event, and it aims to mobilise funding to restore ocean health and accelerate the transition to a sustainable and regenerative blue economy. Christine Lagarde is going to be speaking there, of course. And so the blue economy is presented as a new model for sustainable ocean-based development. It promotes ocean industries like offshore energy, marine biotechnology, ecotourism, and seabed mining, all under the promise of green growth and climate resilience. But in reality, it's a means of financializing, the ocean floor and the oceans, and turning marine life, ecosystems, and even the seabed itself into a tradable economic asset. The valuable minerals of the seabed are needed to fuel the fourth industrial revolution, the green economy. At the end of the day, that's what they're doing. Through mechanisms like blue bonds, ecosystem service valuations, and carbon offsetting, oceans are increasingly being absorbed into the financial system. Nature is being replaced, packaged, and sold, and coastal mangroves become carbon credits, fish stocks become debt instruments, and ocean health becomes a line in the whole ESG portfolios. So it's a kind of a seabed gold rush, really, and it's control over marine resources that shifts from communities to banks, hedge funds and multinational corporations. So small fishing communities are being treated like a threat to the environment, but big companies are being allowed to expand, like massive fish farms, huge offshore wind farms, and deep sea mining operations. So, at the end of the day, it's global organizations like the UN and the World Bank and powerful charities are creating plans to divide up the ocean. As a result, small fisheries and fishermen and smaller communities could be, that all their activities could be made illegal. And a lot of it is all about foreign debt or aid, in return for these nations to give up control of their own waters, known as exclusive economic zones, EEZs, areas that could benefit, their own people. These are being sort of swapped really for, it was almost like a nature swaps, debt for nature swaps, so that the people don't actually have a say in all this. It's all being handed over to big corporations. So I just want to look at the closer look at the sponsors of this, and of course, you'll see that Prince Albert of Monaco plays a pivotal role in these initiatives. He, along with the World Economic Forum and all the major actors, and he's the founder and the president of the Prince Albert II of Monaco's Foundation, which organises the Monaco Ocean Week in collaboration with the Monaco government and the Monaco Yacht Club. And in addition to the Blue Economy Finance Forum, Monaco Ocean Week features various events, including the Monaco Smart Yacht Rendezvous and the Environmental Symposium organised by the Yacht Club in Monaco. And these events focus on, quote, sustainable yachting and innovative solutions for ocean protection. And Albert's involvement underscores Monaco's dedication to the ocean preservation and its leadership in promoting sustainable practices in marine environments. So, if you look at this yacht, this huge super yacht thing, maybe I'm missing something, but there's nothing sustainable about smart super yachts for the super rich. So in short, the blue economy means nature is not protected, but monetized, and local stewards are displaced by global stakeholders. And where oceans are no longer a shared heritage, they become a financial instrument. So it's not conserving life below water, and it's more about who profits from it. So that's what I'm finding anyway.
Great, Sandy, thank you very much indeed. And you're absolutely right in terms of putting a value on it. And it's worth pointing out this coincides absolutely with the publication of reports from the UK government about access to what they're calling green spaces and blue spaces. And the point of that, of course, is to put exactly that value on it. Now, you may or may not know that UK Column only exists because of the support received from donors and members. So to that end, if you would like to make a donation, then you can do so via the website, or indeed join as a member, either on a monthly, an annual, or a lifetime basis. And we'd be delighted if you would do so. You might like to go to the shop and pick up some UK Column merchandise, or indeed look at Clive de Carle's products, from which we receive a small commission. Now, it's very important that you do share our material wherever possible, because the various platforms do not like us to be able to do so, which means that we have to work that bit harder, and this is how you would do it. Now, I'm pleased to say that the interview that went out yesterday, Ben Rubin talking to Paul Atherton of the Royal Society for Arts and Manufacture and Commerce, has been very well received, and I would encourage you to listen to how it has been subverted. Tomorrow, Diane Rasmussen-McCaddy talks to Vicky Baggett, who is challenging the library system in the United States, particularly on the sexualization of content of literature for children, and that falls in line with the series of interviews that Diane's been running, particularly with relation to Diane Kleinman and indeed the organisation that they are both part of now. Tomorrow there is going to be a seminar on the assisted dying bill, which you can tune into if you follow the link, which will be in the show notes. And then getting out and about, UK Column will be at the Sounds Beautiful Festival in Dorset at the end of this month. So please do have a look at getting a ticket there. That will be a great event. And be a delight to see people in person. And on the in-person front, you'll also be able to enjoy beer, truth and freedom all at the same time in Thetford towards the end of July 18th and 19th. And again, a link to that in the show notes, so please do get along to it. And then UK Column will be appearing again at the Hope Freedom Music Festival over the August bank holiday this August rather. So lots going on. Please sign up for some of or all of it, and we'd be absolutely delighted to see you there. Now, that takes us to